Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm continuing our color along series in Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson. And as you can see, I've already been working a bit more on what I showed you last Monday. So I've completed the white flowers, the berries, and I'm working on the leaves and the mushrooms. And I'm doing that off camera because I've already shown you how to do that. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do the frog and the mushroom house here, and then these mushrooms around here. So I'll show you how to do a few of them, and then I will do the rest off camera, and then we'll move on to different elements. So hopefully we can get this page done relatively quickly, while still doing some very, very beautiful coloring. So I'm going to focus on this mushroom today. As mentioned, I'm using Polychromos. So what I'm going to be doing is creating not so much a very vibrant mushroom here as down at the bottom. I want to keep the stalk of the mushroom quite light, but I want to give this a more rustic, earthy red. So I'm going for Caput Mortum, I'm going for Burnt Carmine, some browns, and then for a highlight I'm going to use cinnamon. So I'm just still sorting myself out here, one moment. Alright, there we go. So let's have a look. I'm going to first come in with cinnamon, and because my source of light is kind of coming from the middle and it's going to go darker, so I want this section here, so sort of around, if you imagine a circle around there, that will be my light, and then it will gradually get darker and darker. So that will probably mean down here will be quite a bit lighter, and then this will start getting darker and darker as well. I'm not even going to tackle backgrounds. I'm not ready for backgrounds. So I just need to erase some stuff there. Okay, so using cinnamon. And you can see I'm holding my pencil quite far back because I don't want a very heavy layer. I want to really try and get my blends quite smooth, and light layers help me a lot with that. Alright, I think I'm going to zoom you in a wee bit more. There we go. So I moved our live stream from Monday to today because we're going away tomorrow and we will only be back sometime Friday. We're going on holiday with some friends, so we're really looking forward to that. But I still wanted to come and give you the next part in the series, and I figured that if I use a live stream, it will just help me get it up on the channel in time, and I won't have to worry about editing it and all of that. So I thought, why not do it at 7 o'clock? The kids are away, they're at a scout camp, so they've been away for most of the weekend and we'll only see them again tomorrow. So it's been really nice to just have us time. As much as we love the kids and I can't wait to see them, and I am missing them terribly, I've been enjoying just the space. I think they're also enjoying just the space from mom and doing some other things and being with different people, and all the sorts of activities. And we've actually been able to go on a couple of dates, which we don't often go out on dates because, you know, there's no one to babysit the kids and it's just a little bit trickier for us. So we manage, but it's been really, really nice to go to the pub. We went to the pub for Sunday roast lunch today, which was really, really great. And they actually had gluten-free option for roast dinner, which was fabulous because I choose to be gluten-free. I just find the gluten doesn't work for me. It upsets my body, so I'm not a celiac or anything like that, so it's not life-threatening or severe. It's just an intolerance, and I don't really like the way gluten makes me feel. So it was so nice to be able to go to a pub and have a dinner or a lunch and not have to worry about gluten or making do, or the chefs trying to accommodate me. They already cater for gluten-free. So even had a pudding that was gluten-free, which was really, really yum. I had a berry and apple crumble with custard. So I really, really liked that. The only thing I missed out on was the Yorkshire pudding. And hubby's Yorkshire pudding was huge. I mean, I was said to him, I'm so jealous. You're getting a delicious Yorkshire pudding and I don't. But other than that, it was really, really good. And then yesterday we were visiting Winston Churchill's residence here in England. So we went for a nice stroll in the gardens, had a good look around, and ended it off with coffee and a slice of cake. And so we've really had a good weekend, just the two of us. And we're really just enjoying it while we can. And then we pick the boys up tomorrow and then head straight off for our holiday. But I'm taking colouring books with, so that's going to be really, really cool. Hey Jamie, thanks for stopping by. How are you doing? You having a good weekend? Okay, so there's the cinnamon. Now I'm going to find my Burnt Carmine. And I'm going to start building the colors and building my layers. But now, because of my light source, I want this section here to be quite light, except here where the chimney is. So I need to bring that out. Something like this. Oh, ow, I'm sorry to hear that you're struggling with a bad tooth. That is not pleasant at all. Are you like taking any painkillers or anything like that just to help? I'm so glad you've got an appointment on Tuesday. I will be thinking of you and that it goes quickly and smoothly and there's no complications. There's nothing worse than being in pain. I don't like it. I'm glad you've got some meds to take though. Oh my gosh, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Wow, that's early. It's 7 p.m. here by me. Because we follow London time. So that's really time zone, my goodness. Do you normally get up early? I woke up at 5:30 this morning and I decided, no, I'm not getting up. I'm going to stay in bed. And then I got up at about 8:30 and wished I'd gotten up at 5:30 just so I could do more things. Oh, okay, 2:11 p.m. That's not too bad. Yeah, it was a really great pub lunch we had because hubby was very kind. He said he let me have a couple of cocktails. And I normally don't go for cocktails just because of the price of them. So I had a bit of an indulgence where I actually got to indulge myself in a couple of cocktails. Because I'm not a beer drinker, like it just doesn't work. I've tried different beers and I just can't stomach it. But I really like the cocktails. So that was fun. But then after my second one and after I'd had pudding, I was like, okay, I'm done. No more. Let's go. I want a coffee now. Oh, you're a night owl. Oh, you sound like my husband. He's also a night owl. He'll stay up until like 2 in the morning and have 5 hours sleep, and then he's good. And I need to be in bed by like 9 in the morning, 9 in the afternoon. Well, sorry, in the evening, and then I need a proper 7 to 8 hours sleep to function properly. So I had what was the first one? The first one was really, really delicious. It had ginger beer and blackberry currants. Oh, it was called The Secret Garden. That was really, really nice. I really liked that one. And then I ended it with a Cosmopolitan, which, excuse me, which came with a shot of Prosecco. So I got the Prosecco. I was like, okay, how am I supposed to drink this now? So I took a sip of the Prosecco, I took a sip of the Cosmopolitan, and I was like, okay, I much prefer the Cosmopolitan to the Prosecco. And my hubby was like, well, how are you supposed to drink it? I'm like, I don't know. So I downed the shot of Prosecco and then took my time on the Cosmopolitan whilst eating my dessert. Oh, gel pens, I do sometimes color with them. I'm learning them slowly but surely. I tend to use them more as an embellishment than as a medium. I think because I'm still trying to get my head around how you would blend with them. So I'm still quite a pencil girl. Yeah. But I do like them. I think for embellishments they really work lovely. What's your favorite medium to use? Are you going to be doing a end of the month video? Because I'd love to see your pages and how you used your gel pens. All right, Jamie, have a great day. Thanks for stopping by and for chatting. And I'll see you soon, hopefully. I'll keep an eye out on your channel for any new content. Awesome. I look forward to seeing it. Right, so let's see. I do need to keep quite a bit of this light because of where my source of light is. I really am trying to get this right. So I'm easing up my pressure here. I know it's very light at the moment, but it will get much deeper as we go. It's just all in the layers. Right, so now I'm going to use Caput Mortum. And then for my deeper shadows, I have Walnut Brown. And I actually think that using the Walnut Brown and keeping it a bit rustic, I'm hoping is going to just balance the brightness of the colors I've got going here. And you also have to look at seeing what is around your mushroom and what is casting shadow. So I'm not going to do all the mushroom tops on camera, but I'm going to follow the same principles. So the way I'm doing it here is how I will do it off camera. And I'm going to do all the mushrooms with this sort of look to them, which is basically all the mushrooms except these ones here coming out of the mushroom next to the house. So I haven't decided yet what color to do this flower. I'm thinking these droopy flowers here, I'm going to do yellow bleeding into like white, so the tips maybe white and then yellow here, and then I'll do the tips of the leaves dark coming lighter here, just for some contrast. Hi Leslie, how are you? That page you colored in Enchanted Earth turned out amazing. My goodness. You really did a great job on that. I really loved the finished page. I couldn't believe that it was actually an embroidery hoop. I mean, Melpomene, her creativity and how she takes those sort of concepts and just creates beautiful and such unique art is just phenomenal, really. I don't blame you for wanting more distress inks. They are remarkable. I really do like them. I just wish I could apply them better. For some reason, the way I apply them just doesn't work really well. So I don't know if it's because I've got just distress inks, or if it's the applicator, or if it's because I've got the mini version and not the bigger version. I don't know. I was actually thinking, I wonder if I shouldn't put the distress ink onto my palette board and then kind of apply it to my pages with a paintbrush, because so often I get them, they come out streaky, and I really am baffled as to what I'm doing wrong. And I do use an extra piece of paper, and I go with the applicator and I brush the applicator a few times in a circular motion to get rid of any excess ink, and it still ends up streaky. Hi Penny, welcome. I hope your family's well, Leslie. Oh, thank you, Penny. So I don't want to go too dark in here, even though it is going to cast a shadow, because I don't want to lose the berries into too much darkness. I want the berries to still stand out. Now, you don't have to apply the walnut brown everywhere. You just want to put it wherever it's going to be, it's in the darkest shadows. It's really just to deepen your shadows. I was thinking of how I'm going to do the background, and the thought of doing the background with polys, honestly, I'm like, oh my gosh, is there another way? I might use Inktense pencils, because to try and blend across a double page spread with polys in the background is going to be probably a good 4 hours, maybe more, depending on how I do it. If I do it properly, it will probably need 4 to 6 hours. Otherwise the background will look streaky and that won't look nice. I do find polys are a much slower pencil to work with than Prismas or even the Castle Arts, and I think it's because they're oil based and you need to layer them and go a lot slower, because if you don't layer them properly and get your gradient right, you get the blend isn't very smooth. Okay, so I'm going to come back in with my Caput Mortum. Hi B, how are you? Leslie, I only have the small ink pads. I didn't want to go and buy a whole, you know, the big distress inks and then find out I didn't like them, because they are, you know, they're expensive. It's like the pan pastels. I'd love to get some pan pastels, but because they're chalk based and chalk pastels aren't my best medium, I've been holding off because I didn't want to, I just wanted to buy something when I'm going to use. So our local hobby craft shop had some distress inks in the mini form and they came with the mini pads. So I've been using those, but I'm wondering if the reason I'm struggling is because of the size of the pad. And I don't know if it's like a catch situation where, because I might not have the right equipment, it's not applying as well, so I tend to not use the distress inks as much, or if it's just because they don't like me and I'm not getting on well with them. I don't know. Now I've got my eye on some of the distress oxide inks. I think they're like £64 for a set. How was your weekend being, B? We've had a really relaxed weekend. The kids have gone off to camp, so hubby and I are catching up on dates. So we've had a really relaxed and really special weekend, which has been really lovely. Oh, that's good to know, B. I have found that the distress inks in the Rita Berman paper for me is just right now a no-go. They really come out streaky and they look awful. So I tend to not use the distress inks in Rita Berman's books. Oh, Leslie, I hope you come right with your internet. It's horrible when the internet gets stuck. It's comforting to know that distress inks are a learning curve and they take time to learn, maybe it's worth persevering. Because I really like when you, especially with the oxide inks, and you spray the water and then you get that lovely effect going. I really like that. I think you can do something similar with watercolor, where you paint with watercolor and then before it dries you sprinkle salt onto the wet watercolor, and when it's dry it leaves this sort of effect, like splotchy effect. So I quite like that. I need to actually work with salt and watercolor. But I have noticed with distress inks, they don't seem to like a lot of paper. You know, they are picky with paper. So the Layla Dooley, I think that paper is fine for distress inks. But then I still get streakiness, and then I end up pouring a lot of water to try and lift the ink because I'm trying to fix it, and then I still don't fix it. So yeah, it's a little bit perplexing, but I'll figure it out. What I should do is actually try the distress inks in Denise Klett books. I mean, what do you think? Do you think they would work in a Denise Klett book? So if you look here, if I go a lighter pressure, I can blend from dark, and I can blend this out, but still keep a slight highlight going. Yeah, I haven't tried the oxides either. I've seen people use them and I've seen the effect of them and they look really cool. As far as I know, you can also get distress pencils, which that fascinates me. So I'm sure I've seen people with distress pencils or even crayons. I think they've also got a crayon range as well. Oh wow, that's interesting that the pencils would take longer to master. But some pencils are like that. You need to work with them and get to know them to figure them out. I think the distress inks in Hannah Carlson books work quite well. I know Zucchini Kitty, she's quite good with distress inks. I think she uses them quite a lot. Oh, interesting, Bee. So which method would you say is better than using them like Neocolor 2s? I mean, what have you seen is a better way? How would you recommend using them? Okay, so now I'm going to come in again with my cinnamon. And I'm just going to carry on layering. But now I'm applying a slightly harder pressure because I've got a couple of layers here and there's enough pigment now to start blending. So I can still keep a nice gradient. You could probably use flesh and it would still work as long as you get your gradient right. Otherwise you could end up with streaks. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm learning with a lot of these water-based mediums and even with ink tints, or putting them on a palette and painting it on it results in a much smoother effect than applying straight onto paper. Unless you're prepared to layer over and get rid of any streaks. So I still take my Inktense pencils and I'll still apply them straight to the paper, but I know if I get streaks and I don't put enough pigment down, I'm going to have to go over that either with colored pencils or paint on more of the pigment until it's smooth. So I suppose applying it from a palette is a slightly slower process, but I think it's quicker in the end because you get a smoother effect. Yeah, wow. I didn't realize they crumbled. It's really interesting. I like the Neo2s. I like that you can use a lot on your page and still you haven't used up a lot of your crayon. I do like that. The other benefit of using a palette is you can mix your colors a lot more, so you don't necessarily need the full set of Neo2s or distress crayons. You can mix your colors. Oh yay, I'm glad you caught up, Leslie. No, the Neo2s don't crumble. I think it's the Distress watercolor pencils we're talking about. That's so interesting, Bee, about those distress pencils. Very interesting. Would you say they're worth getting and trying, or do you think it's something sort of not rushing to get? Okay, so I'm coming back to my Burnt Carmine. So harder pressure here in the shadow and then lighten up as I go out. So I went and looked through all my Prisma pencils to see which colors I am running low on and don't have spares. And then I went on to the colored pencil shop and I bought some more, because there you can buy individual Prismacolor pencils, and then they post it to you. And I think it's only about like £2.50 for postage. So, I mean, you can do the other options, but I just go for the cheaper postage. And she always packages them really, really well, so that I don't think I've had any of her pencils arrive broken. But she doesn't have in stock the new Prismacolor replacements for lilac and lavender. No, don't buy off eBay. I really do like the colored. Let me find it for you. I'll see if I can pop it into the chat. Because they about £2, just over £2 per pencil, and she has the full set. So it's called the Color Pencil Shop. I'm going to, and then she's got all sorts of pencils. She's got Prismas, Derwent, she's got the whole list, and she's got pastels and all sorts. So let me copy this and put it in here for you. There you go. I hope you can access that. So try that one. I do recommend her. This one, it's really, really good. And she covers Brunzil, Caran d'Ache, Derwent, Faber-Castell, Lyra, Prismacolor, all sorts. And then she lists the individual. So they're £2.30 per pencil, and then you can buy as many as you want. And then I'd normally pay for like £2.30 for the postage. Because my Prismacolor white pencil is really low now, so I needed to get a new one, and I don't have a couple of greens spare, so I just stocked up. The nice thing is I can do the same with my polys as I use them, and possibly even the Inktense. I'd have to check though. You could, if you wanted to make this even brighter, probably use a cream or an ivory over the cinnamon. I know Hobbycraft does sell single polys, so you can also get poly replacements at Hobbycraft, but it's the Prisma individual pencils I've been after. So ooh, that is a good question, Leslie. I have the set of 30, and whilst I think it's a great set, there are, when it comes to like some of the browns or the muted colors, it's a bit tricky, so it's got a bit more vibrant. Yeah, Bede's right, it does depend on your budget. Oh, where did you get Neo 2's open stock, B? I didn't know you could do that. I mean, Leslie, to be honest, I think if you were to get a small set, I wouldn't go smaller than probably a 30, because then you've got enough of a range. They've got some good blues and some good, yeah, the purples, the pinks aren't too bad. You've got some bright colors, you've got some grays, it's a couple of browns. It's a little bit balanced. I wouldn't do like a set of 12. I think that's unless you know how to mix your colors and you're comfortable with mixing colors. I think it would be really difficult. But then if you can afford the full set and you enjoy them, you could always just go straight to the full set. It's entirely up to how much you want to spend. But they are lovely because you get such beautiful pigments. I would happily use a Neocolor 2 over an oil pastel any day. Okay, I want a bit more cinnamon here because I need to blend this out. FSS. What is FSS? Full set syndrome. Oh, that's hilarious. I was really baffled there.
That's not what it
Okay, so I need a bit more brown. So this is Walnut Brown. I've never heard of full set syndrome. That is so funny. I thought of creating a iron type chimney stack here. Well, that could look really nice. Oh, thank you. I think it's almost done, this part of the mushroom. And what I like is it complements the other two. Oh really? I didn't know that. Thank you, Kelly. I didn't even think to check under the pastel section. It's interesting they would put it there. I never thought, I suppose because it's like an oil pastel. Isn't Neocolor 2 a water-soluble oil pastel? Maybe that's why. I need to get a specific color. I just don't know what the name is. So I started a page in this very book, and I was using a bright green, a dark green, and then I ended up with too bright a yellowy color as my light source. I needed a bit more of a muted color. So I'd love to actually try and find something, because now I need to actually fix the background on that page. It looks really, really bright, and I didn't want it that bright. And then the same with when I try and do a dark brown into a light brown, I find I don't have the right colors to do what I'm wanting. So the effect when I use my set doesn't actually work out so well. I am almost done with this mushroom. I think it's pretty much done. So at any time, if you want to add more color, just add more layers. It's not, as long as you keep your lights light and your darks dark, it's not going to do any harm to your page. And there's still plenty of tooth in this paper. So I might at a later stage come back and add a bit more to it, but for now I think it's fine. I am just going to come here with the cinnamon and just try blend this out a bit more. But I'm not going to take it all the way to the edge, because I do want to have a slightly lighter edge here. And because there's quite a lot of layers, pressing harder now, and not quite burnishing, but heading towards that sort of pressure works, because you've got enough pigment to move about. So, okay, let's come here a bit more. Oh, I didn't know they were rare limited colors. Which ones are those, B? Okay, so I'm going to leave my mushroom cap as it is for now, and I'm going to come in with my let me see, I think I'm going to use some Bistre and Walnut Brown underneath here. And then I will use the Walnut Brown. Oh wow, 126. Wow. That's incredible. Wow. I didn't actually realize that they had 126 crayons at one stage. I knew they had quite a large full set, and I mean, to be honest, even 84 is quite a big one, but I didn't realize they discontinued their 126, or even that they had 126. How long ago did they discontinue their bigger set? Then I want some yellow ochre, light yellow ochre. Oh wow. I will definitely have a look and see what I can find. It's really good to know that you can buy them on the Colored Pencil shop open stock. That's really helpful. Okay, I'm trying to remember how I was going to do this. I think I was going to do light yellow into orange. So I'm still trying to keep with my color palette. And then I think the stones here, there's a lot of detail on this page. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is light yellow ochre. And I'm going to have highlight more on this side, so this will be lighter. So hopefully not this Monday, next Monday, when I'm back from holiday, all these mushrooms and leaves will be complete. Oh, thank you, Bee. I appreciate that. I'm hoping it's going to be a good holiday. It's quite a group of us going. We normally just holiday as a family, so it'll be an interesting dynamic. But I'll try and take photos. I like taking photos when we're on holiday. Alright, so now I'm going to use Burnt Ochre. Now I still want this stalk to be relatively light. I don't want it too dark. So I need to try and make sure I balance it. Ooh. Oh. Suppose the 15 for $27 is probably your best value for money, because the 30 for 58 are slightly over double. So if you know the cost of the set of 15, so it's not like the bigger 30 is giving you a cheaper rate per crayon. Do you like the colors in the 15, or do you feel they're a bit limiting? Could you see yourself using them? Yeah, I always prefer it when the bigger sets actually give better value than the smaller sets, because at least it's slight justification for spending that much money. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in a bit of Walnut Brown. And this is just to cast a bit of a shadow. No, I haven't tried Neo2s in Jenna Basford's books. I could try them. I've got The Secret Garden, which is my first book. So I could give them a try there and see what they like. I don't think they would be a problem. She's got pretty good paper in her books. And I have used Inktense pencils in The Secret Garden, and they did work really, really lovely. So I think if the paper can handle Inktense, it could most likely handle Neo2s. I find generally if paper can handle Inktense, they can generally handle Neocolors as well. And I think it's just because you're testing it on water, and if they can take the water, it's fine. But I'll give it a test for you and let you know. Okay, so I'm going back over now with my Burnt Ochre. Oh, okay. So you've got a plan for your blues and your yellows to make green. Do you need the more muted greens, or do you prefer the more vibrant greens? And if you're happy with the 15 set, then go for it. I mean, you can always upgrade it at a later stage or buy open stock. I suppose if it's got one green, you could also, well, it's got two greens, so you could probably add a bit more blue and yellow to vary the shades there as well. There are a lot of new mythographic books, isn't there? I can't keep up. Are there any particular you're looking at getting, B, when they come out? Oh, that's brilliant. I am thinking of focusing on the mythographic books in June. I've just decided I haven't colored in them a lot this year, and I really did enjoy them when I was coloring them last year. So I thought actually it might be nice to just have one month where I kind of dedicate myself to coloring them. So here I'm using cream. So I actually want a slightly lighter color going on. And the nice thing with the newer mythographics is they don't have all those hidden objects. So that does help quite a lot, actually. That giraffe was spectacular. I'm not doing that into all of the pages too much. It will take too long. I'm too impatient. But we could always just get the same book and then we could do that together. There's a page in Voyage I actually want to do. And that one is the one with the train. So there's a guy with a train going past sunflower field, and there's a big whale in the sky. So I just need to work out how to color the whale in the sky, but I think that could be quite a fun page. And the nice thing with the mythographic books, you can use even your budget pencils on the paper. It works really well, especially the older books. When I last looked at the new mythographic books, the ones I was seeing were like Cosmic Spirit, and there were a couple of horror ones, and I don't like that sort of stuff. So I might have to actually go and re-look at them, because the horror ones, and I'm not very good with Cosmic Spirit stuff. I think I do judge books by their cover, and I don't really do anything related to like the zodiac signs or anything like that, because it's just not my thing. So Menagerie, I think, was an old book. Some of the new ones, I think I can't remember if Aviary was old or new. So I probably need to actually go and have a look and see what they got out there. Yeah, I think the train page would be a lot of fun. Maybe we do that on our next color along. Let's have a look. I'm now going on to my Amazon so I can have a look at the mythographic books. Fairy Wonderland, maybe. I like fairies and I like that sort of stuff. And that's by Fabiana Atanasio, and I do like her drawings. So that's one coming up, which will be released in December. So maybe that one. Okay, wait, here we go. Deep Blue, that's another one. Crystal Kingdom. Crystal Kingdom is due January the 16th. Mythographic Deep Blue is July. Maybe I'll do the Deep Blue one because I do like ocean stuff as well. Let's have a look. Mythographic Color and Discover Labyrinth. That's by Joseph Kattenbang. That one's due in October. So maybe that one. Depends how detailed they are. If they're too detailed, I get a headache. Like completely clam up. So those are some of the new ones coming out. And then all of these. See, then you get like Vengeful Forest, which looks like a horror thing, and that just creeps me out. And then there's other ones like Frozen Nightmare or Gory Underworld, and it just completely creeps me out. Seriously. Ugh. So yeah, anything that's happy, like fairy tales, beautiful nature, imagination, that sort of thing, I'm happy to get. I like crystals, so I could get those, but the other stuff, no. Yeah, animals and all of that, much nicer. Yeah, exactly, be innocent. I mean, I totally understand that some people enjoy the horror side of things and gory stuff, and you know, I accept that. That's everyone, you know, different strokes for different folks. But it's just not my thing. I don't like nightmares, so I don't see why I would want to color a nightmare and creep myself out. My imagination's far too active. And then I also don't do gory stuff. I mean, I've been watching on and off Game of Thrones, and I've been reading the books and watching the movie. But even with that, I don't watch the gory stuff. My husband actually tells me when to close my eyes, because and then reading the books helps me just know what to expect. I like that series because of the storyline. The story is really, really good. But I cover my eyes so I don't see it, because I don't like it. But those are the exceptions. Normally I will watch and read stuff that is, you know, lighthearted and fun, and or something interesting where you can learn something about. So I apply the same thing to coloring. But yeah, different strokes for different folks. So it just doesn't rock my boat. Yeah, I think the Fairy Wonderland and the Deep Blue could be great. I'll have to see what the crystal one looks like, because I've got quite a few books with crystals in already. So whereas I don't have a lot of underwater type coloring books. But then Hannah Carlson is bringing out her Tales from Atlantis book, and I think that's coming out the end of the year, and that could be quite interesting to see how she interprets and it puts her style in under the ocean, and so I think that would be interesting, but I'm not 100% sure if I will write it done, and I think it's not too bad. The blend here is not so good, so I might work on blending this out a bit better. It's hard to watch shows together. I mean, especially when your tastes are so different. He can watch a lot more things than what I can. He has a good way of separating reality from fantasy, whereas I just get absorbed into the story, and then the story becomes reality. All right, so now, oh yeah, I don't blame you, Leslie. I don't like it when shows go weird, but I don't mind walking away. There were a couple that I tried watching, and the first season would be okay, the second season would be sort of okay, and then the third season would just go weird, and I'd go, actually I cannot get past it. And then I'd just say to hubby, sorry, I can't watch it anymore. And then if he wanted to watch it, he would carry on when I go to bed, or when he's doing other stuff, and then I would just not watch it. Right, so now the frog. I think the frog needs a gold crown, but I always do gold crowns. Right, so I want to give him a nice underbelly. So I was going to give him a light underbelly, but I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to give him a grey into a green underbelly. So I'm going to use warm grey 1. So I want his underbelly to be lighter than the rest of him. I love the way Zucchini Kitty colours frogs. She gets the blend so beautifully, and her choice of colours really work. Because I don't, this doesn't look, well, he looks more like a toad than a frog, I suppose. It's a bit warty. But besides those tree frogs, frogs and toads, they tend to be quite dull. And then I will use earth green yellowish. This frog looks like he's got a cheeky smile. He's got this corner here. I'm at a slight loss what to do with these little balls on his toes or his feet. I could possibly use 3D pearl effects and just make them bumpy. I might actually put a little bit of cinnamon in here, just ever so slight. Almost like dusted in. So now I will use olive green yellowish. I try to pick muted greens. Do you colour frogs a lot? I think this is my second frog, my second or third frog in 3 years. So I've been colouring now for 3 years. I saw on Facebook some of my first pictures when I picked up adult colouring, and they were dated 28th of May. Bye Leslie, thanks for joining. Hope you have a great week, and I will chat to you soon. I'll try catch your other live videos. Oh, that's cool. I've seen on Instagram these really cute frog color-alongs. But I think they're a specific colouring book. The illustrations are really cute. Oh wow, that's cool. But your Ken Matsuda pages are really awesome. I'm still afraid of colouring them. But Ken Matsuda's work is so beautiful. Yeah, I think they are the Scribbles frogs. Every month when they post the color-alongs, they have a cute, you know, just grin at these little frogs. And I think, oh, they're so cute. But I don't want to go and already that I'm colouring. I won't do them any justice. Oh, okay. I didn't realize R.J. Hampson had froggerty. Yeah, the Morning Scribbles frogs. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, colouring in large open spaces can be really tricky. It's hard to know what to do with the space. That's where I like color-alongs. If I want to try something new and I can't find a color-along or someone's video, even if I don't color with them, just to watch what they do, I find that really helps. Oh wow, I didn't realize he had a whole book. He's got quite a few books. I mean, we've got my one boy wanted the dragon book, so I've got one of his dragon books. And I've seen, isn't he the same one who does tiny houses? There was a garden one I think he did as well. Some really great illustrations. I think I saw the Moonlight Mischief book, but I haven't actually looked into it and seen the illustrations. I think I just saw the title. So if I use a bit of Walnut Brown, I can put in a bit more shadow. So I think I'm going to use some glitter in his spots. I'll use some green glitter. Do any of you have the luminance pencils? And do you think it's better to get a small set and try them out first, or would you save up for the full set? No worries. Alright, so now I'm going to take a white pencil and try and blend this out a little bit more. Okay, that's good to know. I think if I was to get watercolor pencils again, I'd probably want to try out the Albrecht pencils. Yeah, I've heard the luminants are really good for skin, you know, that their colors are really good. And I mean, I think if I was to get a set, I'd probably look at more the skin tone and for hair than for smaller stuff. Hard to know really. I was also looking at the Derwent Lightfast pencils, but I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes I do that. I just have a look, I have a think, and then I'll leave it for a while, come back, have another think. Because none of it is really urgent. Oh, that's good to know that you've been happy with the skin tones and that it's a good starting point. Oh, okay. Yeah, Albrecht seems to be, you know, up there as far as quality goes and similar to the Inktense pencils, but more watercolor than ink. So here I'm just creating pearls. So you just do a light shade grey and then you follow over with a dark grey and then you blend it with a white pencil. You can add a bit of green or a bit of pink if you want. I mean, you can add a bit of burnt carmine in here. kind of like that. Oh, okay. Do you think then if they're pale in saturation, it would require more layers to build up that saturation level? Oh, okay. Yeah, because I've been watching a few videos where people use the obraduras, and from what I can see, they complement the polys quite well. Same colors, same names and all of that. Yeah, I think, you know, watercolor pencils really do work wonders as far as basing your papers with, because then you don't have to layer up as much, because the tooth of the paper, you don't see it. It's already got color splashed on it. And I do think that that is very helpful. And then you take a white Sakura jelly roll or a white gel pen. I do like colouring pearls, they're fun. I'm just going to turn the page a little bit so I can get to these pearls here. All right, there we go. I am very lost with his eyes. I'm not sure how to do his eyes. Bye, Bee. Have a lovely week ahead, and thank you so much for joining and for chatting. It's been such a lovely time to spend with you. and I will see you soon, hopefully. It's lovely that you have wild hedgehogs. So if I come in with a Van Dyke Brown, maybe, nope, I want a Burnt Umber. And then into it with a sepia. So I'm using Bistre, Burnt Umber and Dark Sepia for the windowsills. And then I'm blending it out with the white. We could actually give him a blue door to his house. Okay, I'm going to zoom you out so you can have a look at the whole picture. And there we go. And that's how it's looking so far. So not too bad. Still got a lot still to do, but hopefully by not Monday, but next week Monday, I will have all the mushrooms and the leaves done, and I'll finish this mushroom. So this mushroom, these mushrooms here are all going to have the same color palette as this mushroom. So I will do that the same, and then these here are white flower petals, so we just need to do those white. And then in our next video, hopefully we can tackle these bigger flowers, which we will do yellow into white. So the tips can be, the tips will probably be yellow leading to white, or the other way around. I'm not sure yet. So we can work on that. Thank you everyone for joining me. It's been really, really great chatting to you and spending this time with you coloring. It's always such a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video, as well as hearing about all the coloring pages you've all been coloring on your videos for the end of the month. So until next time everyone, take care and have a great week. Bye for now.